Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of Calm Space. So, some of you know me already. My name's Abby. I'm a recovery worker at Preston Park Recovery Centre. I'm also a peer trainer at the Recovery College. I teach on the mindfulness and self-compassion courses. As I'm sure you all know, we're not able to run groups at the centre at the moment, so we're making these online videos so that you can still access some of the groups and activities that you used to when you attended the centre. And this video, this episode, will be looking at some really easy techniques you can use when you're feeling very anxious or stressed or overwhelmed. And if you are finding things difficult right now, just to give some general information, you can be in touch with your key worker at Preston Park Recovery Centre. You can also phone our Community Roots service, which is a gateway team for mental health services, so they can give general signposting support. And their number is 0808 196 1768. So that's 0808 196 1768. So that's a number if you felt like you needed some general mental health support, and they're open Monday to Friday. Okay, so I know that some of you watching this video will be used to longer meditation practices. You might have done a mindfulness course or a meditation course. What we'll focus on in this episode is more like mental health first aid. So a bit like having a plaster as you've cut your finger. I'm hoping these practices will be things that are really easy to do, that if you're feeling particularly overwhelmed or stressed, that you'll have something in your pocket that can really help to calm the system and help us to feel more grounded. So when you listen to these videos, you might want to find a good place, somewhere you can be away from other people if that's possible, somewhere that's relatively quiet. Obviously, that's different for all of us, just as best we can. Perhaps wearing something a bit loose that you can move in as we're doing a bit of movement. And you can replay this video as often as you want. So it's yours now. So every time you click the link, you can watch it again. So it's a good idea to practice some of these techniques so that when we do really need them, they're available to us and we're already familiar with them. So I'd also recommend that. And everything, as I always say when I teach, everything is invitational. So that means if anything doesn't feel right for you, anything that I'm guiding is uncomfortable or just in some way isn't right for you at this time, then please feel very welcome to either not do that practice at all or to adapt it to a way that works better for you. So really encourage you to do that. And also, if you do have any feedback, comments or suggestions about these videos, because I'm going to be doing them every week, then you can email me on the address that I sent you this link on. So just reply, and very welcome to let me know how you find the videos and anything extra you'd like me to do. Very happy to hear from you. Okay, so every session will start with a short amount of gentle movement, and then we'll do some short meditation and grounding exercises. The whole session will last between 20 and 30 minutes, roughly. So this episode, I wanted to explore the senses, something that's really useful for us to do when we're getting very caught in difficult thoughts, is to come into our sense experience. So we all know about the senses: sight, hearing, touch, smell. And they are ways of us to connect with the present moment. So we can really even if it's just for a few moments, have a sense of our system coming into the present and allowing it to calm a little bit, because we can take the attention away from whatever it is that's causing us to feel distressed. And one sense that we sometimes neglect is the sensations of our bodies. So when we do movement practice, we can begin to connect a little bit more with how our bodies feel. And we're going to just start off with a tapping practice that comes from a practice called Dawin, which is very similar to Qigong. Some of you may have done a Qigong practice. Some of these might feel a little bit weird at first, but maybe just give them a go. And we're going to begin just by tapping all over our scalp. And you might like to do that very gently, or you might like to do that more firmly. Just experimenting and seeing what's best for you today. And really focusing on the sensations that you feel in your scalp. You can always imagine that it's almost like rain falling on us. You can also hear the tapping sounds. Covering the whole area. And then just pausing for a moment and noticing what sensations we feel in our scalp. Tingling or warmth or whatever's there for you. And then we'll do some exercises just to relax the face a little bit. So if we try screwing up our faces as much as we possibly can, and then letting them relax. Should you try that a couple more times? So screwing them up really tight, and then letting the whole face just soften. One more time. We often hold quite a bit of tension in our jaw, so we can spend some time just gently massaging this area here, the jaw. Obviously, if that's causing you any particular discomfort, then maybe leave this one out, but it can be something that's really helpful to do. And we'll do some neck rolls now. So imagining that there's a pane of glass in front of you, and you're going to draw a circle with your nose. And you might like to do small circles, or you might like to do larger circles. Whatever feels good for your neck. Might be a bit of crunching. And maybe don't do it too quickly because we can get dizzy. Slowly, gently circling. Maybe 4 or 5 times. And then we'll go in the opposite direction. Easing out the neck muscles. And coming to pause. And we'll do some shoulder rolls. So bringing our shoulders up towards our ears, forwards, down, and right the way back. So our shoulder blades are almost squeezing together, up to our ears again and down. So that's up, forward, down, back, and up, forward, down, back, up, and down, forward, down, back, up, and down. And one more time in that direction, up, forward, back, up, and down. Hopefully that's loosened up the shoulders a little bit. And we'll do a little bit of stretching. So maybe beginning with the right arm, bringing that up and then bending over just as far as feels comfortable for you, and then feeling that stretch along the whole of that side of your body. Allowing yourself to breathe, only holding for as long as feels okay for you. And then coming up and back down. And we'll try the other side. So lifting the left arm up, stretching over just as far as is comfortable. Feeling the stretch along the whole body. Breathing. And bringing the arm back down. Maybe pausing for a moment. You might notice your breath a little bit deeper after moving the body. Okay, so now we're going to do a really simple exercise that you can do anywhere at any time, even when you're going out to the shops. I know not everyone is able to go out at the moment, but if you are one of those people, you can do it when we're standing in the queue at the shops or just when we're walking down the pavement. And it's just called Finding My Feet. And all we need to do is to bring our attention down into the soles of our feet. So if it's easier for you to close your eyes to do this, then go ahead or keep them open, whatever works for you. Just focusing our attention just as best we can on whatever physical sensations we feel in the soles of our feet right now. So we might have lots of thoughts about our feet, but really what we're focusing on is the direct sensations. So you can notice if they feel warm or cool, noticing any tingling, noticing where they touch the ground and where they don't, the texture of your socks or shoes or the carpet, depending on whether you're wearing shoes or not. The whole area of the soles of the feet. Almost as if we're shining a torchlight over that whole area. Might feel your toes. And if it's helpful, you can wriggle your toes just a little bit so that you know where they are. And this practice is really helpful because we don't tend to feel worried or anxious in our feet. It's a really safe place for us to anchor our attention. So if we do find when we're at the shops and we're starting to feel a bit overwhelmed, we can pause just for a moment and nobody need know that we're doing it at all. And just feeling our feet on the floor. And we can do it when we're walking as well. We can just feel the changing patterns of contact between our feet and the floor as we walk. Or if we're standing, say we're standing in a queue, we can also just gently rock from one side to the next, just very gently so no one need notice, and just noticing the changing pressure in your feet. Just that I would really recommend if it's something that feels easy for you to access. So another one that we can do maybe when we're at home, and we can practice this through the day, is what I call finger breathing. So we use one of our hands, it doesn't matter which one, and we're going to use the sensations of the breath and of our hands as the focus. So again, continuing this theme of the senses, so using the sense of the breath and the touch of our hands. And as we breathe in, our finger goes up to the tip of the thumb, and as we breathe out, goes down. Breathe in, and we go up to the second finger. Breathe out, and we go down. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. You might want to do that relatively slowly because slowing the breath down can be really calming. And you can do that as many times as you need to start to feel a bit more grounded. Maybe try starting with doing it 4 or 5 times around your hand and just see how that feels. So another practice that I wanted to share with you involves the sight sense. So some people find the visual awareness is better for them when they're feeling overwhelmed. So we're all different. So see what works for you. And you can do this either with looking around your room where you are or looking out of the window. And there's different ways you can do it, and I'll just suggest one way, and you can have a play for yourself. So what I usually do is I start with colours. So think about the colour green. Can you see where you're looking at the moment? Can you count 5 green things? So looking around the room and just saying internally in yourself, cushion, plant, sofa, anything you can see in your environment that's green, and we think of 5 things. So doing that now. And then we'll do the same thing for blue things. So looking around the room, seeing how many blue things you can count. And don't worry if you lose count or get muddled. It's really just doing it as best we can. 3 yellow things. 2 brown things. And 1 white thing. And then we can do the same exercise but with shapes. So we could say 5 square things. 4 round things. 3 rectangle things. 2 cylinder things. And 1 triangle thing. That one's a bit more challenging. So I'd recommend that practice if you're feeling particularly overwhelmed, actually. That can be a really nice one because it takes up lots of your attention. There's lots to kind of look and think about. And it's really easy to do. So yeah, give that one a try. Another thing that a lot of people find helpful is the smell sense. And one thing that I have is a lavender bag. My mum actually gave me this. And if I'm feeling like I need some comfort or some reassurance, then I can smell that. And I really like the smell of lavender, and I associate that with feeling relaxed. It might be that different smells work better for you. Some people have a box of essential oils and they can try different ones that work for them. You can use, when you're having a bath, use the smell of bubble bath and really focusing on the smell really enjoying that fragrance. Smell of ground coffee. I'm noticing at the moment when I go out for my daily walk, I can really smell the blossom of the spring flowers. Um, so those are things we can also try. And the last thing I wanted to mention is about hearing. So we hear things all the time. So again, it's a really easy thing for us to do. At the moment, with it being springtime, we've got so many birds, and because there's less cars, we can hear the birds a lot more clearly. So even if you can't go outside or you don't have a garden, you can open your window and just listen to the whole orchestra of birds, and maybe just do that for about 5 minutes. Maybe one bird coming forward, maybe there's a chatter of different birds at different pitch and tone. Really enjoying that music. And of course, some of us have particular kinds of music that we like to listen to that can feel quite soothing. Some people like listening to the sound of the washing machine. Um, I like the sound of the beeps on the radio when it's the news time. Those feel reassuring for me. So just finding those things for you that give you that sense of just allowing your system to calm a little bit, something that's a bit soothing and reassuring. Okay, so just to recap then, so we started off with a little bit of movement. So we did the tapping, massaging our jaw, relaxing the face, a little bit of shoulder rolls, neck rolls, and side stretches. So those are just nice, gentle movements, exercises that we can do even every day. Only need to take a few minutes. And it just allows us to connect with the sensations of our bodies and release a little bit of tension. Then we did the 5 finger breath practice. Then we did the feet on the floor so that we can do that as many times as we want through the day. And we had the sight practice, so looking around the room. Talked a little bit about smell and about hearing. So I hope some of those practices were helpful and that they are a resource for you when things are feeling difficult. As I said at the beginning, I'm really open to feedback and comments, so do get in touch. And I will be back next week. Take care.